Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome to the Cricket Happenings show with your host Ram. Well, today I have some sort of some pain in my throat, and my throat is a bit sore, so probably you won't see me speaking with the same energy that I normally exude on my Cricket Happenings show. So dear friends, friends and subscribers, please bear with me. Well, in this Cricket Happening show, what I'm going to talk about is the start of the Sri Lankan Test series in Bangladesh, which kicked off today at the Mirpur cricket ground. This is the first test match of the two test series or three test series, I suppose, which started off today at the Shere Bangla National Stadium in Mirpur. Now, the toss was a very important thing to win, and that was done by Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka had the luck of winning the toss, and Angelo Matthews, the Sri Lankan captain, without any hesitation, what he decided is that, looking at the pitch, he decided to insert the host Bangladesh into bat. And the decision that Angelo Matthews, the Sri Lankan captain, took was something which was a very important decision, as I said, and it was a decision which really paid off, because what was good about it was backed up by some very good bowling from the Sri Lankan bowlers. And as you know, Suranga Lakmal and Shaminda Iranga, who surprised everybody in the United Arab Emirates with their pace and direction and their swing and movement, and they took a bag full of wickets. As you know, they 28 wickets in that particular series against Pakistan in the three-test series. So that gives you an idea. So, and that's what precisely happened today. If you have a look at it, there were 8 wickets which fell to the seamers, and Bangladesh would only be pretty unhappy about the whole thing, because the pitch was not so bad. It was some rank bat shots which was played by the Bangladeshi batsmen that actually reduced them to being 232 all out on the first day itself. So that's the reason I said that it was a very good toss for the Sri Lankan captain Angelo Matthews to win, and then Bangladesh bowlers, Sri Lankan bowlers did the job that was expected from their captain by bowling them out for 232. Now, just talking about this particular game, it all started with Tamim Iqbal and Shamsur Rahman, who has been scoring very heavily in domestic cricket. And as you know, in domestic cricket of late, there was news that Shamsur Rahman scored a double century. So the opener started off, and they were pretty watchful because Suranga Lakmal and Iranga were definitely getting the ball to top. So they had to be pretty watchful on that in that particular phase. But after that, the breakthrough was provided by Shaminda Iranga. Now, Shaminda Iranga, what he did, his bowling was pretty good. He was using some sharp bouncers. Now, we saw that he has a very good bouncer. He likes to hit the deck pretty hard, and he had some very good bouncers. So he tested the batsman with bouncers, because he was seeing that even though the pitch was not helping much, but definitely he was trying whatever he could. But then later on, Shaminda Iranga realized that if he could actually bend his back, he could get something out of the wicket, and that's what he precisely did. As Tamim Iqbal got sucked into a ball which was a short delivery from Shaminda Iranga, he hooked it, and that was it. He was taken at fine leg by Lakmal, and that was the breakthrough for Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka got their first breakthrough by taking the very important wicket of Tamim Iqbal, and the Sri Lankans scored read 35 for 1. Shamsur Rahman was living there, but not in a very convincing manner, even though if you look at his knock, he made 33 runs of 34 balls with 7 fours, but a lot of them were actually, wouldn't say very confident strokes. It was all going through streakily through the slips, and you know, it was edges, a lot of inside edges and outside edges. Marshall Ayub came in and joined Shamsur Rahman, but Angelo Matthews got a ball which came in and trapped Marshall Ayub absolutely in front of the wicket, and Marshall Ayub was walking. LBW bowled Matthews for 1, and then more trouble for Bangladesh as they lost their third wicket, which Shamsur Rahman, as I said, was really struggling at the crease. even though his innings of 33 of 34 balls with 7 fours will give probably a sort of a feeling that Shamsur Rahman played well, but unfortunately it was not an impressive debut for Shamsur Rahman. He was dismissed by Shaminda Ranga, one of the as far as Shamsur Rahman was concerned, he was caught by Pereira of the bowling of Eranga for 33 of 34 balls with 7 fours and 40 for 3, and soon became 59 for 4 as Mominul Haq was sucked in. In fact, he went through a pull shot. Lakmal was the bowler. He went through a pull shot, and that pull shot actually got the ball ballooning in the air, and the Vitanage taking the catch, and he was an 8 for 8. And it was a very sorry situation for Bangladesh at that stage, with the score reading 59 for 4. But then there were those two experienced person in the middle at that stage, Shakib-ul-Hasan and Mushfiqur Rahim, the captain of the Bangladeshi cricket team. Well, both of them, what they did is that they started, they understood the importance of the situation. They had to actually get Bangladesh out of this big hole that they were into at that moment, and both of them started. Shakib-ul-Hasan decided that it's better to attack them, and what was good to see is that previously the top order really struggled against the short deliveries from the pace bowlers, Lakmal and Eranga in particular, but Shakib-ul-Hasan was absolutely equal to the task. He decided to take on the bowlers and hook and pull them for lots of boundaries. In fact, he hit three boundaries through the square leg area. And Mushfiqur Rahim, well, he decided to nudge his way and give good support to Shakib-ul-Hasan, playing around him, and the partnership slowly started growing, and that was what was required, and that was doing on pretty well. In fact, they had actually recovered from a situation of 59 for 4, and the score had reached 145, and that was the time Rangana Harith struck for Sri Lanka, as the spinner Rangana Harith got the very important wicket of Shakib-ul-Hasan, as Shakib-ul-Hasan trying to actually sweep a delivery from Harith actually couldn't get a bat onto it, and he was in front of the stumps. He was gone. LBW bowled Harith for 55 with 9 fours, but a very good knock from him. And Mushfiqur Rahim was there at the crease. So 145 for 5. Nasir Hussain walked in, and Nasir Hussain was given out, caught Chandimal, but probably Nasir Hussain was not happy with the decision. It seemed that it went off his elbow, one does not know, but Eranga was the bowler, and Nasir Hussain was walking back to the pavilion for 4. So that became 150 for 6. Mushfiqur Rahim was still there at the crease, and he was joined by Sohag Ghazi. As I said, the partnership between Shakib-ul-Hasan and Mushfiqur Rahim for the 5th wicket yielded 86 runs, which was very valuable. Now, from 150 for 6, again there was a partnership. Sohag Ghazi, who has already proved himself as a very good all-rounder in the year 2013, came in and he started staying there. He was also not afraid to actually use his feet against the spinners. Mushfiqur Rahim also is a good player of spin, and both of them slowly started building together a partnership once again. I'm sorry, dear fans, please pardon me. And then from 150 for 6, the partnership reached 203. So that was 53 runs partnership between the two before Mushfiqur Rahim, after doing all the hard work, was out. LBW bowled Lakmal for 61 with 9 fours, and from 203 for 7, it was a procession, as the tail was totally wound up with Rabiul Islam, with Sohag Ghazi the next to go. After Mushfiqur Rahim was out, he tried to probably attack. He was gone, caught Eranga bowled Lakmal for a very well made 42 with 6 fours and 1 6. Rabiul Islam was out for 5. Rubel Hussain was out for 2. Hal Hameen Hussain was not out on 6, and that was it. And Sri Lanka did a wonderful job with their captain Angela Matthews winning the toss and electing to put the Bangladeshi in, and it was a very, very good decision in the end, as Bangladesh innings were totally wound up for 232, which was not a good score at all under the circumstances. As I said, some rank bat shots were played by the Bangladeshi batsmen, especially on the first day, and they definitely need to learn from their mistakes, because as Shakib-ul-Hasan very clearly said after the post-match press conference that this was a wicket where it could have been in excess of 375 runs, and that was precisely the case. And well, Bangladesh would be definitely ruining the fact that they didn't really make good use of the first day of the Test series. Surangal Akmal, 18.1 overs, 3 minutes, 3 for 66. As I said, the seamers were the ones who really did all the damage. 3 for 66. Shamin Daranga was absolutely the pick of the bowlers, testing the Bangladeshi batsmen with a lot of short stuff, and they kept on succumbing to his wiles. 17.4 overs, 2 maidens, 49 runs and 4 wickets. Angelo Matthews, 6 overs, 3 minutes, 1 for 18. Pereira, none for 45. And Rangana Herath, 11 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 50. Bangladesh all out for 232 on the first day of the first Test match between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh here at the Sher Bangla National Stadium in Mirpur. As far as Sri Lanka were concerned, they finished at stumps on a very strong note here in reply to Bangladesh 232 all out. They were 60 for no loss, with both the openers doing very well, with Karnaratne not out on 28 with 4 boundaries, and Kaushal Silva was already impressed a lot of people in the United Arab Emirates when they played against Pakistan, was not out on a compact 30 with 5 boundaries. And Sri Lanka going to stumps on day 1 at a very with a strong reply at 60 for no loss. 19 overs were bowled by the Bangladeshi bowlers to the Sri Lankan batsmen. The bowling: Rabiul Islam, none for 12. Al Amin Hussain, 5 overs, 1 maiden, none for 18. Rubel Hussain, 4 overs, none for 20. Sohail Ghazi, 5 overs, 2 maidens, none for 8. And Shakib Al Hasan, 1 over for 2 runs. So that's the match situation as far as the first day's play is concerned of the Test series between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Now let's get on from here. As you know, there is one match which is coming up today, and that is going to be a very crucial match after an exciting tie was enacted by India's Ravindra Jadeja there at Eden Park in Auckland. It's time for the 4th One Day International to start, and the 4th One Day International is going to be played at Eden Park in Hamilton, where the pitch, as you know, is one does not know what is going to be the nature of the pitch, because this was the same pitch on which the first One Day International was played. So one has to wait and watch. But as I said, the series is still alive. Now for India, they would be hoping that they would be in a position to actually square the series by winning the next 2 ones, but it's not going to be easy. But India definitely would be buoyed up by the fact that they really gave it to New Zealand in that tied One Day International against New Zealand in the 3rd One Day International, and that's the reason the series is alive. And I'm sure this should be a very good match here, which is going to be very evenly contested. Now for India, well, one good thing was that the openers had stuck to their guns and they gave a good partnership. Unfortunately for India, Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane failed to deliver on that particular day, but it didn't really matter as Dhoni came to the party as usual. But one good thing for India is that the lower order has started getting into form and started to fire, with Suresh Raina, Jadeja, Ashwin doing a fine job. The bowling, well, Varun Arun, Mohammad Shami and Bhuvneshwar Kumar would definitely be handling operations, but Mohammad Shami would be hoping that he could put up a better show today than what he did in the previous One Day International, where he leaked a lot of runs. As far as New Zealand are concerned, they would also be pretty happy with the effort, but definitely one thing for them that New Zealand would be trying to get to grips is Jesse Ryder going on to make a big knock, because Martin Guptill has already made a century. Kane Williams and Ross Taylor have been showing amazing consistency. Brendan McCullum would also be under a bit of, not of pressure, but as a captain he would also like to have a good knock under his belt. Corey Anderson and Luke Ronchi have been doing their duty pretty well. Nathan McCullum was spinner, and as far as bowling was, Hamish Bennett was pretty impressive the other day, and Tim Southey and Mitchell McClanahan. But I'm sure the Indians would have got some notes about Hamish Bennett's bowling as to how he was bowling, and I'm sure we would have we would see a different kettle of fish now as far as India are concerned when they actually take on Amish Bennett. And Amish Bennett, as you would remember, also tested Virat Kohli to a great degree and finally got his wicket. So Virat Kohli is such a determined person. I'm sure he would like to forget what happened, and he would like to start off on a fresh note. And I wouldn't be surprised if you might go on the aggressive route as far as Hamish Bennett is concerned. So I think that is going to be a good battle between bat and ball, when Hamish Bennett would be hurling the ball at Virat Kohli, India's premier batsman. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, nothing to share. One only hopes you have a good match where if India are already keeping the series alive, but if New Zealand win today's match, then that would be curtains for India. But definitely India would try to see to it that they actually put it across New Zealand. But yes, all in all, it is going to be a very wonderful match which is coming up here at Sutton Park in Hamilton. And I'm told there is not going to be any rain threats, so that is some good news, and we should have a full match which would be going on at Sutton Park in Hamilton. Well, dear fans and subscribers, nothing else to really add. It has always been a pleasure bringing you this Cricket Happening Show. Thank you for patiently listening to this Cricket Happening Show, even though at times you have seen me coughing. Well, as I said, I do have some throat problems even now, but Cricket Happening Show is pretty dear to me. I just don't have a problem coming in and narrating on this Cricket Happening Show. Hopefully you're all bearing with whatever I am dishing out to you. Thanks for your company as usual, and as always, your host Ram will be seeing you tomorrow with a full match report on the fourth one-day international between India and New Zealand, which is going to be played at Sutton Park in Hamilton. And also I would be giving you the second day's play report in the first test match between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh here at the Sher-e Bangla National Stadium here in Mirpur. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.